Hello everyone, this is John Liebman. Welcome to ForBassPlayersOnly.com. Today we're talking with bass player and founding member of Atlanta-based supergroup Collective Soul, Will Turpin. You know, you had such an early start to your career working in the studio with your father, and was there, I guess the studio must have been a transition for you becoming a for-real musician. That probably made it kind of natural. What kind of work were you doing when you started to branch out on your own and become a musician in your own right?
Well, you know, I mentioned, doing demos when I was 13. Yeah, I'll always remember trying to make money by performing or recording music, from my teenage years. So I remember in 8th grade, 9th grade, I met Shane Evans, Collective Soul's original drummer. And 9th grade, we were trying to get paid to play the Valentine dance at the high school. So, it's always been something that was there for me. Hey, I can play music and maybe I can get paid to do this. But there's been so many musical experiences in my life because it's always been music. Anything from, like I said, starting a rock band in high school to being in a marching band in high school. One of my first band directors was a great influence on me musically in my life. David Henry was a younger band director. He had just gotten out of college, and I was on the drum line as well as Shane, the original Collective Soul drummer again. And yeah, he was a big influence on us musically. So many different people. My youth choir director growing up, Paul Cook, was a big influence. Another guy I met while I was in high school, but he was probably in his late 20s at that point. He's not even 10 years older than me. So these guys that knew a little more about music than I did were big influences on me, and I was able to soak it up because I guess I was ready to soak it up, soak up the knowledge.
I was going to guess that it was the drums you played in the marching band because that pretty much ruled out bass and piano.
Yeah, and I really did enjoy my time doing that. And like I said, I was a performance major in college, and I carried a lot of my drumline stuff through college. I was writing charts for high schools and other ensembles, even up until the time that Collective Soul was signed to Atlantic Records.
What school was that you went to?
I went to Florida State University.
Oh, Seminole.
Yeah, on a full music scholarship.
Oh,
believe that.
Wow. Well, I shouldn't be talking with you because
it's not soccer and football. It's music where you get the scholarships.
That's right. I shouldn't be talking with you, Will, because I'm a hurricane. So I think we're supposed to be enemies.
We had some good games back in the time I was there. I was there from 90 to 92.
Oh, boy. Well,
Miami, Florida State matchups.
Oh, yeah, I remember them well. Well, what was your instrument in school? Were you a piano major, a drum major? What was your primary instrument as a music major in school?
Primary instrument as a music major was percussion.
Yeah.
And I was real advanced on the marimba, 4 mallets on marimba, and the timpani. I made the Florida State University Symphony as a freshman on timpani, and that was kind of the first time anybody had ever done that. But I attribute all those things that I was able to carry over to percussion. I still attribute all that back to keyboard and really just trying to understand how to use my ear. I was always really good at how to use my ear. So yeah, percussion was the main instrument, but I didn't stop playing piano, and I was still playing piano and writing songs, or at least playing covers, even in college.
Well, how did you gravitate to the bass ultimately? That seems to be what you're known for, perhaps better than playing the other instruments. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
What?
Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I sort of think of you as a bass player, but an all-around musician bass player, a musician whose primary instrument is the bass. Is that an accurate statement?
I was still, yeah, I guess. I make my living playing bass, and I'm real proud of everything I've done as part of the rhythm section in Collective Soul. But man, it was really a natural progression basically out of necessity. Here I am in music school. At this point, we're talking about 92 and 93. I transferred to Georgia State University, basically to get back into Atlanta, which had a real music scene, and to get closer to my friends who had stayed in the Atlanta area after high school and had started a band with Ed, who Ed was obviously somebody I knew, but 6 years my senior, I'd never been in a band with Ed. So as I'm going to music school, I'm hanging out with them at the clubs because they're slugging it out with original songs and trying to make it as a rock band. And I would sing backups with them and play hand drums, and there would be it'd be a 6-man band. The bassists at the time were kind of like a conveyor belt. There was 2 or 3 different bassists coming in and out of the band, and nobody was really fitting. And chemistry-wise, personality-wise, it was like a bolt of lightning. Honestly, when the idea came, I was like, "Oh, I'll play bass, and then that'll fix everything." And I really thought that. It's just simple as that. I thought if I played bass, then everything will be right. And I didn't own a bass, and I never really played bass at that point. I'd started guitar, and I knew the fretted instrument. I'd played guitar from 13 years old on, but I knew that if me and Shane were the rhythm section, the rapport there with me and Shane is it's undoubtable. You can hear it on live bootlegs. You can hear it on Collective Soul CDs. Me and him were just really we were best friends, and we were able to focus equally on any given task, like a laser. It's real simple for me and him. And a little bit of a learning curve on the technical side of playing bass, but like I said, go back to melody, harmony, and music theory, and rhythm. And I didn't skip a beat, man. I was ready to go. So yeah, it just came to me, and from that point on, I was bass player in Collective Soul.
For BassPlayersOnly.com.